Avatar, The Path to Peace. Part 2, Firstborn. Jake had been shocked when Neytiri came to him with the news that he would be a father. Although his second body was as fully functioning as any other Na'vi's, the presence of his human DNA inside it had left him in doubt. Neytiri had talked of having a family, and the fear that he would not be able to provide her with one had eaten at him. He could not face the thought of disappointing her in this way, but he never spoke his doubts aloud. Neytiri, knowing him as well as she did, simply said, "The Earth Mother will provide, my Jake." She had known within days that she was pregnant. The Na'vi were in tune with their bodies in a way that human women could never be. Perhaps Eowa had even shown Neytiri her upcoming child during their previous Tsahelu. Jake was terrified. He knew a little about human gestation, the very basics taught to all in schools back on Earth. But Na'vi childbearing? He went to his mother-in-law, Moat, for guidance. "My daughter is strong," the Sahik had said. "Do not try to prevent her from running or hunting. She will know when to slow down. When that time comes, do everything she tells you." Roger that, Jake thought. Moat was right. Neytiri was almost certainly afraid too, but she knew herself and her limits. Jake would support her however she needed, and when the baby came, he would be the best father he could be. The clan would support him in his learning, and Eowa would guide his hand. Eowa, that mystical presence he was still not even close to understanding. As was the Na'vi way, he bonded with her through the Tree of Souls once every cycle of Pandora around its planet. All he knew was that, after every bond, he felt a sense of calm and clarity that had not been there before. He did his best to interpret her will and her design for him, as all Na'vi did. But she did not speak with words. It took decades of practice to understand her language, and Jake was not there yet. 7 months after Neytiri's stomach had begun to grow, their son was born. They named him Neteyam, which loosely meant peace bringer. Jake and Neytiri had seen enough of war and wanted their son to grow up without its troubles. Neytiri declared he would be strong and calm, like a giant tree with deep roots. When Jake held Neteyam in his arms for the first time, his heart almost burst with love. The boy's face contained his father's clunky features, with a little of his mother's smoother characteristics. As a Marine, he had been conditioned never to cry, and he couldn't remember the last time it had happened. However, tears flowed easily down his face as he stared at his son, and he did not try to stop them. He had a family of his own. He hoped Tommy would be proud of him. Jake thought of his brother often. He had asked Neytiri about Tommy's time on Pandora, but she remembered little of him, other than that he was kind to them, as Grace was. Jake missed him, and he wished he was there with them. He wanted Tommy to share this new life he was building. Then again, if Tommy hadn't died, Jake would never have come to Pandora. The realization bothered him. A few weeks after Neteyam's birth, something bizarre happened. Grace's avatar, which had been kept alive in a lab tank, was pregnant. How was it possible?